Yeah, hi there. The reason for this video is because I just received an email from someone else who has had information used against them with the Church of Scientology. So this actually is a video that is primarily directed really towards the media and your responsibilities when it comes to people who go ahead and reveal information about the Scientology network. I'm going to reveal something here I didn't want to at this particular point in time, but I'm going to do it anyways. Probably this has been brought around by the fact that the 7 people in Australia that spoke out against the Church of Scientology have been harassed, and I've had private investigators visit my mother in New Zealand and force her into talking about things she didn't want to talk about. Another member here has been followed in her car repeatedly, and we have another member in Melbourne who has had obvious private investigators follow them. So if there's any doubt to Scientologists or the media out there that we get harassed for speaking out against the church, I think the book is closed on that subject. What I wanted to talk about was the celebrities in Scientology and why they can't leave precisely. Okay. A lot of celebrities do want to leave the church, but they can't. And I'll explain to you the precise reason why they can't. The mechanism used to get information on celebrities is as follows. When you walk into a Church of Scientology, and particularly if you're a celebrity, and you walk into a Church of Scientology, you're given a confessional, a chance to relieve yourself of those things that you've been doing in your life that aren't okay. And often after the confessional, you're visited by the ethics officer, the person in the church that's responsible for handling, what you've done. And often, the same thing happened to me. I gave a confessional believing that it was auditing when in fact it wasn't. It's done like a session, it's done like an auditing session, but it's actually not covered by confidentiality. And after I did my confession, I was taken to the ethics officer, where what had happened is the case supervisor had written up reports about what I had done and given it to the ethics officer, and the ethics officer sat me down and said, well, look, you've done all these bad things. And my response, as well as what the celebrity response is, but that's confessional, you can't use that. And the response back to them is, well, we have an obligation to report anything illegal to the police. And then what they do is they grab the book of ethics on Scientology and they say to you, well, look, if you help the group on the planet that's doing the greatest good for the most number of people, that would make up the damage done by what you've been involved in. And it's a fundamental way to coerce you into joining staff or to make donations to the International Association of Scientologists, or, if in the case of a celebrity, to remain with Scientology. During my time in the SEAL working in the Church of Scientology International, my division was responsible for sending all communications to David Miscavige and Religious Technology Centre in the International Management located out in Riverside County. So I saw files and information being sent because my division was responsible for that, and I was the senior over it for 3 years. And I can tell you that celebrities such as Leah Remini, Jenna Elfman, Lisa Marie Presley and John Travolta all have had files created on them that contain everything that they've done that could be used to blackmail them. The mechanism used by the church is that if anybody leaves, such as a celebrity or a top-ranking member of the church, and then goes public against them, what they will do is they have a methodology whereby what they do is they take the information, they provide it to a private investigator, and they tell them, look, this is what we know about the person. And they give everything that they know about it. And because it's been revealed in sessions in Scientology, they know where it happened, who was involved, and everything. What the private investigator is then asked to do is to go out and find another source of information that will verify the existence of that information. So that what can then happen is if the celebrity leaves, then all of a sudden CNN will get, or Nightline or something will get a piece of information from somebody in the public that confirms a source for, let's say, confirming that a celebrity took lots of cocaine or cheated on his wife or was involved in like homosexual activities or was involved in lesbian activities. And that way it doesn't seem like the church has released the information, but in fact they have. The church uses this information in such cases like with Lisa Marie Presley. I well remember after her marriage to Michael Jackson, she was pulled into the Hollywood Guaranteed building on Hollywood Boulevard and was escorted upstairs by Heber Gents, where Heber Gents instructed her that it was in her best interest to create the divorce with Michael Jackson because he was unstable, because he represented an actual threat to the church. So these things really do happen. Now, when we're talking about a celebrity like John Travolta, I can tell you he has a file that he is not in control of. The file is not located at Celebrity Centre International. It is located with David. It's not even located at the Office of Special Affairs International in Hollywood Boulevard. It is located up at the Riverside County, and David Miscavige has access to that file. And it is through this that these celebrities are coerced. And the real problem here is not that they, like, if you have to take it from a point of view, if this celebrity walks out, the problem with the media in the United States is that when they get a source of information, they're just going to run with it. So you've got John Travolta sitting here. He wants to leave the church, and it's because of the media that he can't do it. Because you're going to offer him no respect. You're going to offer him no privacy. How is this man supposed to do the right thing if all of a sudden, a month after he leaves the church, all of a sudden some story comes out about something he's done after he did Grease or Saturday Night Live, and there's a verified source? The media is going to run with it, and you're going to paint this guy in whatever light you want. You, the media, do not make it very easy for a man like John Travolta or a celebrity like Lisa Marie Presley to even leave the Church of Scientology, because you don't understand. Okay, these guys have told them everything that they've ever done. Everything. They know everything about these people. So how are they supposed to leave? Right now I can tell you that there is a file in existence. I have seen the file. Okay, it is there. It exists. It was sent up to Riverside County, where David Miscavige and the top levels of Scientology have their base. And that file contains all the information on the times and dates that John did something. So how is he supposed to get out of the church? And this is the conundrum I propose to the media to help somebody like John Travolta find a solution to his problem. Okay, I can tell you right now that the personnel file example of Leah Remini, I've read this in detail. I know everything she did as a child. I know what she was involved in. Okay, you know, that file was sent directly to Liz Ingber, okay, in the Sea Org, and she works right at the top with David Miscavige. Now, that's just one example of where I have been involved in preparing the information on these people, and it does exist. So my question to the people out there, to the celebrities, to the media, is how are you going to make it okay for a celebrity to leave Scientology? Did John Travolta do things that he should be worried about? Yes, he should. Is it out of the statute of limitations? Yes, it is. But it's not out of the statute of limitations of embarrassment. I mean, are you okay as a media group to allow a person to admit to mistakes and to come forward? Or are you going to prosecute him and paint him as a liar his whole life? Do you understand that this man was blackmailed? He has been told, you must stay within the church. You must make donations. You must take money and give to us. You know, this has been this guy's life, not being able to live as freely as he wants. And for all intents and purposes, John Travolta is a good man, don't you think? He hasn't committed any crimes, he hasn't beaten anybody up. What are we going to do as a society and a media to let him live his life if he decides to leave the church? Because he does want to leave. And I know that a number of other celebrities also want to do that. You know, you have to remember, this stuff has also been recorded on video and audio. At the Flag Land Base in Florida, where you get the higher levels of Scientology, and on the Free Winds ship out in the Caribbean,